we spent a lot of time talking about how important Stockton is and just how important it's going to be to the Sacramento Kings. So throughout those conversations, the things that came up and the objectives that we decided on are player development, staff development, continuity, impacting the Stockton community, and really just building winning habits. So once we really came up with those objectives, the next thing to do was move on to head coach and hiring a head coach and a person to carry out those objectives. So we were fortunate that we had three really, really good candidates internally. So Lindsey Harding, obviously Bobby, and Jonah Hershew. Bobby just brings a ton of experience. He's a great guy, first of all, so I should start with that. He's just a great guy. I've gotten to know him, and it's been really good just to work with him so far. But impeccable work ethic, character. He has experience both in the front office, most recently on Luke's staff, and with a focus on player development. So he's a great fit for the position. And so with that, I want to welcome the next head coach of the Stockton Kings, Bobby Jackson.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it, man. First of all, I want to thank Paul for this great opportunity to be the next head coach for the Stockton Kings. It's a great opportunity, to further my coaching career. But I also want to thank Luke and I want to thank Monty for envisioning, looking at me, and giving me the opportunity to be the head coach for the Stockton Kings. It's been a long process for me, but I enjoy it. When Paul asked me would I interview for it, I said, of course. I think, being able to grow and being able to reach that pinnacle in your career, especially coaching career, is a wonderful thing. So I'm happy for opportunity and all the things that he talked about with staff development, player development, continuity, community improvement and impacting the community. I'm all for it. And I think that's a wonderful way to go. But I'm super thankful for this opportunity to be the next head coach for the Stockton Kings.
All right, we will go to questions and start with James Ham.
Hey, Bobby, I know you've been on the staff for a while. When was it that you kind of decided that you want to start sort of moving up in the ranks and trying different things like going to Stockton and running your own team?
I think it's just the opportunity presented itself. Paul approached me with it. We've actually been in conversation talking about it. And for me, I think you always look at wanting to run your own team, but also learn and develop as a coach and see where that can take you. And I think the opportunity is going to be great for, Sacramento Kings and the Stockton Kings, building a great program based around our players, but also building great work ethic, but also me and Paul working hand in hand to come up with a great process that's going to allow us to be successful on the floor.
And I'll just jump into the other thing I would say is, so Bobby and I talked a lot during the year, and one of the things he talked about was just improving himself and growing, and that aligned perfectly with what I talked about with Monty and Luke, just for staff development. So I think it went hand in hand.
And Bobby, how do you see the marriage between you and Luke as far as, the G League to the main club, and, how much input will they have on what they want you to do with players and stuff like that?
I think, when you look at it, you want the G League to mirror the Sacramento Kings, and I think that's a great relationship that me and Luke already have. Whether it's going to be offensive concept, defensive concepts, everything is kind of going to be the same. He's going to allow me to run whatever I want to run, but everything has to mirror that, come up with certain situations, ATOs, baseline out of bounds, crunch time package. We've already talked about it. He said he's going to give me the freedom to be a coach and for me to run my own team, but it will mirror everything that the Sacramento Kings is doing, and that's winning, building great habits, being confident and consistent, and figuring out how to be successful on the floor.
All right, Charles Holman from Minnesota.
For us, good afternoon. Good morning, Bobby. How are you?
I'm good, Charles. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I thought I'd never see you with gray hair on, so that's
Hey, I was thinking about putting my Just for Men on this morning, but I didn't.
I'm proud of you. I've covered you since college and through the pros. You played for some great coaches, including Coach Haskins, talk about some of the things you learned from Coach and from other people that you was able to now add to you as a now head coach?
Oh man, that's a great question. I mean, I think the biggest thing is, being able to be a head coach. You look at all the coaches that has impacted my life, whether it's my high school coach, my junior college coach, my University of Minnesota coach, Clem Haskins, now Rick Alderman, who's probably gave me my best career here in Sacramento, and now Coach Luke, that allowed me to grow and given me the reins to go out and run this Stockton Kings team. So, Coach Haskins really impacted my life, and he was kind of a nonchalant guy. He wanted you to work hard, and he showed me a lot about the game. So he's going to be super impactful, but all the coaches that have impacted my life had some type of way in developing me as a coach. And now I get to take that and kind of put it on pen and paper and allow myself to be successful through all those people that impacted my life in the coaching ranks.
A follow-up, you mentioned earlier that it was the process. Was that process meant becoming a head coach, or the process was the interviewing process? What you meant by that?
I would say probably both. I think, the interviewing process, the process of growing and being assistant for so many years, developing yourself, but also allowing yourself to grow. I think the game is truly evolving and growing, and it's becoming innovative every single day. So you just got to be able to be adaptive. So I think both processes have allowed me to grow and be successful.
Thank you, Bobby. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
We'll go to Sean Cunningham.
What's up, gentlemen? What's up, Bobby?
What up, John?
Good, man. Good. For you, just looking at this transition, I mean, you obviously want to kind of establish an identity for your team, and I think people have seen you as a player and as an assistant coach, but what is it kind of that identity that you want your team to represent on the floor when you're as the head man?
I mean, I think it kind of want to mirror what the Sacramento Kings are doing is, having a great philosophy, building a family environment where guys come in and they understand we're going to respect each other in the workplace. We're going to work hard. We're going to communicate at a high level. We're going to be tough on the floor. We're going to play with pace. So there's a lot of things that we're going to do, which is going to require a lot of effort on both sides, whether it's the coaching side and the player side. They just want to kind of build a family-based atmosphere that allow guys to be successful.
And Sean, the funny thing is, Bobby and I were literally just talking about this right before this, some of the things we wanted to do in Stockton. So building winning habits and just making sure our players are developing. And so we literally just talked about that right before we got on. So that's a great question.
Right on. And Bobby, for you, even for you, Paul, I mean, G League is such a breeding ground, be it executive, coach, player. Bobby, just how much do you look at this as kind of a stepping stone for ultimately maybe getting to that next level of the NBA, trying to maybe fulfill that next role as being possibly a head coach in the league?
I think at the end of the day, I think having a great vision with Paul and understanding what we need to accomplish, and following out the game plan with Luke and Monty and driving it home. I think if we do our job and we respect each other, but we come in focused, I think the Stockton Kings is where we want to focus at. I can say, well, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to be at, but my main priority is the Stockton Kings and allowing us to focus and be really good, be disciplined, be consistent, building winning habits, but also getting great communication with Paul and Monty and Luke. So that's what we want to focus on now. What comes down the road, I don't know, but I can tell you this: we're gonna really get after it, and we're gonna be competitive at a high level.
Jason Jones. Jason, we can't hear you. You're muted, but I can't hear you.
Get that Metro PCS microphone updated, Jason.
Jason, I'm gonna go. I don't know. You might have to reconnect to your audio, but I'm gonna move on and come back to you. We'll go back to Charles Holman for a second.
Wi-Fi.
So, this is a question for Paul. Paul, just in terms of, has the G League finally reached that visionary point that when it was founded as the D League, of being a true farm system, a true development operation for their parent clubs such as Sacramento?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the G League and getting back to it. I think it's been a great place to develop players, develop staff, and that's how we're going to use it, and just build winning habits and make sure we have a winning environment for our players to grow. So I think the G League is in a great place. I'm really excited about getting back to it next year.
And has anything that haven't been said about Bobby that you want to say about him?
I mean, I don't know if I can emphasize how good of a guy he is and how much of a jokester he is too, as you can see right now. But again, he's going to keep it light, but he's going to hold our players accountable. He's won at a very high level. He's been to an NBA Final Four, to an NCAA Final Four. So the guy knows about winning. So I'm excited to work with him.
Thanks very much.
We'll go to Dennis Cruz.
Gentlemen, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules today. Bobby, what are you most excited about, not just on the floor, but also for the community of Stockton as well?
I think that's probably what we're really excited about is the growth in Stockton, building a great relationship with the community. Me and Paul and Monty and Luke coming up with a great plan to be able to assist that community and be hands-on. Like Paul said, we kind of want to be very impactful in the community. And that's something that I've done my whole life. I mean, my whole career being in Sacramento, being able to give back. So I think we'll find different avenues to give back to the community of Stockton and make them feel like they're part of us, just like we want to be a part of them just as well.
And also, if I may, what are some of your early information of this team right now? I know it's very early and you're just now getting your foot in the door with this club. And with COVID, not a whole lot of interaction with the guys or the staff for that matter.
Again, I'll let Paul handle that. I think he's the pro with putting together staff. I think we still got a lot of meetings that we got to build out and work out as far as what our roster looks like, what our staff looks like. So we're looking forward to that, and I think that'll come down the road. We just haven't really focused on that. We focused on, taking care of this press conference, but also trying to build out our relationship and figure that out from now. But if Paul, I think you may have a couple of things to say about the direction we were going as the staff.
Absolutely. So as far as staff, so we already have an assistant coach in Akashi Okogu. We have Katie Babcock, who has been a fantastic asset with the Kings already, and she'll help us out next year in Stockton. And as far as the roster, it's really early to think about the G League roster right now, but we'll work through that as we move out throughout the summer. But I'm really excited about it and looking forward to next season.
All right, Jason Jones.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, y'all got me now?
Yes.
Gotcha.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I work on that phone, Bobby. So just first thing, Paul, it's our first time talking to you, but just with your role with the Kings and in Stockton and Sacramento, how do you see that working for you in terms of player development with Stockton and also, working with Monty and Luke and how that whole relationship will play itself out?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, so I'm the VP of player development and the GM of Stockton. So those two are going to go hand in hand, really. So we are, we're creating an environment in Stockton where we can develop our guys, where we're building winning habits. But I'm talking to Monty and Luke. Bobby's talking to Monty and Luke. And that was probably a lot of the reason why Bobby is here, just having continuity amongst the staff, allowing him to already have a relationship with Luke and know what's going on inside of Luke's staff and know how to run his play. So I think it's a seamless transition.
Yeah, and Bobby, you talked about, being able to grow as a coach the last couple of years. Just what ways do you feel like you've grown the most from that first, the very first time you were in the system to where you are now?
Oh man, well, I I was fresh. You know, it was new to me. You know, I was just getting done as a player. You know, I think the biggest thing for me, I've allowed myself to grow, but adapt different coaching styles. You know, being structured, being organized, being disciplined, being on time, but having a really good game plan. That which has kind of helped me out a lot is being able to watch the coaches before me. I take a lot of notes, and now I get to do it and put it on pen and put it on a piece of paper and allow myself to be successful. So I'm just taking a lot of things that a lot of coaches have impacted me, and then trying to put it together. But I can say this: we're gonna work hard. We're gonna be held accountable. We're gonna be on time. We're gonna have a structured environment, but we're also gonna create a family-based atmosphere that allows guys to be successful. And I think that's the one thing that's going to allow us to be successful at the end of the day.
Just quickly, there's one thing about Bobby. Bobby is the on-time police. He is the person who's collecting the fines on the plane about players being, if they're not on time. So he's 100% factual on that about making sure they're on time.
We'll go to Jason Anderson.
Hey guys, thanks for your time today. Bobby, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
I know a lot of people are behind you. I saw Lance Woods giving you some coaching tips. You know, to do this with the Kings organization, given your history in Sacramento, what does that part of this mean to you?
Oh man, it means a lot. You know, I came in Sacramento in 2000, and I think it's been a great ride. And being able to work for a great organization that's allowing me to grow as a coach is really important. And I think that says a lot, you know. So, you know, just being here and being in this city is tremendous. Now I get an opportunity to be a head coach and learn and work with Paul, but also learn from Luke and Monty and get that vision driven into our players and our staff. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Paul, if I could ask you as well, you know, Bobby, we've seen him develop some really strong relationships with players over the years in Sacramento. And I wonder how important was that aspect of, you know, putting him in charge in Stockton now?
Yeah, so I think the continuity of having Bobby be a part of Luke's staff in the past as well, and he'll know exactly what we're looking for in Stockton. So I think it's a big part of it. And again, Bobby just naturally, people want to gravitate toward him. They respect him. And he can command the room. So a lot of that played into it.
Okay, we'll go to Justin Fromer from the Stockton Record. Justin, can you hear us?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
Sorry about that. How's it going, Bobby? I'm sorry if you answered this question already. I've been having some technical difficulties, but just since you've gotten hired, I guess from your time previously, just in the area, what is just your sense of the city of Stockton? What do you know just about the community here, and I guess their relationship with the Kings?
Oh, what do I know about the city of Stockton? Actually, I used to drive 2 days a week to Stockton to take my daughter to AAU practice at Calvary Baptist Church in Stockton. So I was down there twice a week. Really didn't get to explore the city, but I know it's a great city, thriving. People are excited about basketball. People are excited about the youth. So I'm excited to get rolling, get down there, especially on game days, and just build that community-based impact and allow ourselves to grow and impact that city. That's what I feel about Stockton.
And then, Paul, it's been over a year since the team has played a game in Stockton Arena. I guess what, if anything, can be said about what fans maybe can expect for when games return to the city? And then how is the organization working to continue building on the relationship with fans in the city that was pre-COVID?
Yeah, so we are really, really excited about returning next year. And so, and like I said, one of the objectives for the season is just making sure we're positively impacting the community. So that's through health, that's through education, that's through appearances. So we're really excited about it and looking forward to getting back to it next year.
All right, we'll go back to, we'll just do a couple more back to Sean Cunningham.
Paul, just since this is the first time kind of speaking to you, with this new role, both in Sacramento and Stockton, for you, just what was kind of the most attractive thing in coming to this organization, and what have you made of just maybe your first season overall with the Kings?
Oh, so it's been a great experience so far. That's what I'll say first and foremost. I really, really like the city. First of all, it's been 50 degrees was the coldest it got in the city. So you cannot beat that. But I'm going to say that first. But I really like it. The organization has been great. In Stockton, we're again just trying to make sure we're building winning habits and make sure we're developing our staff, developing our players, and so staff development, including myself. I was prepping for media the last 2 days. So we're all trying to grow. We're all trying to develop, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool. And Bobby, just since, just catching up with you a couple weeks back about your academy, I get asked a lot since the news had come out. Is that still going to continue? And I guess kind of along those lines, how much does this get in the way of not only that, but your golf game?
Well, the golf game definitely going to take a hit. But I'm going to continue to impact the city with my academy. I just got to figure out how that schedule works. The good thing about it, my staff will be hands-on, but my first focus is the Stockton Kings. Allowing myself to grow, working with Paul, building a winning tradition, developing our staff and our players is something that I'm looking forward to. I've been waiting for this opportunity since I retired. So now it's here, and we got to get to work and allow the success to take over.
All right, we'll go to the last one, Sabrina Merchant, SB Nation.
Hey, Bobby, congratulations on the job. I realize that this is a little bit presumptuous since rosters have yet to be finalized for next season, but I'm just curious, what you saw out of the young guys who might be playing for Stockton next year, like Jemias and Lou King, that excites you for the upcoming season.
Oh, man. And you might want to add Robert Woodard in there as well. I think we got 3 quality guys that are skilled and talented. They're getting better. They're working on their games as we speak right now. And I think, with the right coaching and the right being in alignment with what Coach Luke wants and developing these players, I think it's going to be exciting for us. Jemias is super athletic. Luke King has been around, understands long and athletic, and Rob's long and athletic. So that's 3 wing players. That's going to be tremendous for us, and we can build around that. So now the next step is developing their game this summer, and so we see those improvements once the season starts.